Hi guys, today I'm going to review the BGVP P05. Before I start the review of BGVP P05, I just want to say that the review unit has been kindly provided by HiFigo.com. HiFigo has provided me the review sample, but they do not have any input on this review, and all the thoughts and opinions you're about to hear are my own. You can check HiFigo.com. They sell many audio gears from $10 to $3,000. You can find from your smallest tier tips to the biggest of the audio DACs you can want, and they have awesome service, and I have personally used them once. And also you can check they have shipping worldwide, so you can check hifigo.com for any of your audio needs. So let's right now begin into the review of BGVP P05. Before talking about the sound of BGVP P05, I just want to talk about the fit, comfort and the build quality. So for the fit and comfort of the BGVP P05, they are really good because they have really small shells, as you can see over here. Right, they have really small shells. If you are in the audio hobby, you will be aware that these do look something like the tin T2, tin T4 shells, right? Very small, very comfortable, and so you can wear them wire up, or you can also wear them wire down, like normal earbud kind of style, right? Talking about that, they are very good metal shell. They are extremely comfortable. They're also, since they're small, they're also good for side sleeping. Also, as I said, the comfort is very good, right? So what happens is I always wear them earbud down, like earbud style, and I found them to be very comfortable even in this style. What happens sometimes is even wearing earbud down style is they are not that comfortable and they do weigh down. This doesn't happen with this IEM, and even with this style it is very comfortable. All right, now talking about after comfort, I will just talk about the wire, the cable over here. The cable is decent, I will say nothing great. The quality is decent. It is a bit memory prone. It does get tangly inside the pocket if you just mush it up. It does get tangly, so just keep that in mind. Also, these are MM6 connector. I will not take them off because they're quite hard to take off on and off. So these are MM6 connector. Do be careful when you're using them for the first time, like when you're putting when you're putting them in for the first time. Just here for the click, otherwise they won't go inside properly and you won't get sound. So it happened with me for the first time, so be careful when you do that. And since they are MMCS connector, they are very you can turn them around. They are quite comfortable, but also many people don't like MM6 connector. Do keep that in mind. But I think so that's a small nitpick over here, because when I talk about the sound, you'll come to know why that MM6 connector is a small nitpick over here. Also, the wire which splits into the earbuds, right? The wire which splits into the earbuds is very thin. So they are not that weighty, like they don't weigh you down. Sometimes what happens is if the wire is too thick, these will also be too thick, the single wires, and they weigh you down when you wear the IEM. This doesn't happen with this IEM. Also, the neck cinch which is there, the neck cinch is really good. I mean, it's too good in my opinion, because this is just too tight. Some IEMs which I have seen are very loose. Some IEMs don't have it. I actually like it, but what I found it over here is this is too tight. So you have to put some force over here. So be careful. Just don't pull it like this. Just hold this and don't pull it like this. Rather hold it over here and then pull it. Otherwise you might tear it over here at the joints. So be careful while using the neck cinch over here. So yeah, that's about the build quality and fit and comfort. Now one more thing I want to talk about before I end the section is, as you can see, these are removable plugs, right? You can see in the box they have written self-tuning in-ear monitors. So these do come with the red plugs which are mentioned on the box, but I am using the silver plug, so you can screw them in, screw them out. Also, the nozzles which are there, these are gold nozzles which comes by default. I've kept them on. I'm not using the silver nozzles. And since these are open back, these do have proper venting, so I do not have any issues of moisture buildup or any tightness inside my ear, which I generally feel with some other IEMs which do not have vent. For example, Moondrop Quarks, I do like that IEM, but I do have issues with that when I wear it for like 1 hour or 2 hours. What happens is that I have a lot of moisture buildup, and I need to take them out after an hour or so that it does so that I can wear them again. But this doesn't happen with the BGVP. They are really good. I can wear them for 5-6 hours. In fact, I have done a video call. I have done lots of video calls using only the BGVP because these are really comfortable, right? And these are open back. So I have done video calls for like 5-6 hours and I have had no issues with them. So really comfortable on that aspect. Also, I would like to quickly talk about the case. The case is really good. I know a lot of people don't care about the cases, but at $49, which is the price of this IEM, it's really good because you see the case is, this is the palm of my hand. The case is not too big, not too small, and they are hard shell. So what happens is you can put the IEM over here, and these have a mesh over here. You can put your DAC or your dongle DAC, or if you have a Shanling M0 Pro, which are really small DAC, you can also use them over here. So that's why. So you can have a setup which you can carry around, just IEM and a small dongle DAC, or your Bluetooth dongle DACs, or a small DAC. So really good and very pocketable. I've pocketed them. They do bulge out a bit, but not so much, right? Really good, really good. Really like the case. I think so. The case itself can be worth at least $5, $6. So that's a good value over here. And the tip selection is also great. I'm using the medium vocal tips. These come with vocal ear tips, the bass ear tips, and the memory foam ear tips. I'm using the vocal ear tips because I found this to be the best for my listening. So I'll tell you more about the tips and all the nozzles and the filters in the sound section and how they differ the sound. Before I talk about the sound, I just want to say, since these are 34 ohms or 32 ohms, I'm not quite sure, these do require a bit more of power. So the BTR5 has been really good because when I played it through my phone or on my laptop, the sound quality, it didn't shine that much. It was just meh. So I really suggest using a dongle DAC or something which can give more power to this, right? So do keep that in mind. These do require some power. Now talking about the sound. So sound, there are a lot of tunings, as I said. So you can change the nozzle, you can change the nozzle, you can change the filter, and it has 2 filters, it has 2 nozzles, and also it has the ear tips. And the filters over here do change the sound. It's not that it doesn't, it does change the sound by a lot. So Ian Fan has provided some graphs, thanks to him. So I'll be popping up the graph on the screen, you can check them, and so you'll see there are different tunings. So when you get the IEM, you get it with a gold nozzle and the red filter. So with that, the sound is good, I will say. Even the stock sound is really good, but I felt a bit of lack in the sub bass, and the dynamics of the bass was lacking a bit. So what I did was I changed from these red filters to the silver filters, and that improved the bass. It does become a bit bassy for many people, but I do like that bass. The bass is really good. It's very punchy, it's very dynamic. So that's why I'm using the silver filter over here and the gold nozzle. I could, if I wanted even more bass and tame the treble even more down, I could use the silver filters, silver nozzles instead of the gold nozzles. So that would tame the treble even more down, and it would make my IEMs even more bassy. If you want it to be even more bassy, you can use either a bass ear tips or the foam ear tips. That improves the bass even more. And these do work. These do change the sound. It's not that it's there. These do change the sound, which I was surprised because the price for this is $49. You should keep that in mind. I have tried some IEMs which with filters and stuff, they don't really work. They are just there for reason, but here it really works, which I was really surprised for the price of $49. And the tuning variations, there are a lot of tuning variations. So what I'm using is I'm using the vocal ear tips. With the gold nozzle and the silver filter. For me, this sound has been really good. It has played very well in my playlist, and I'll talk about my sound preference. I'll talk about the sound which I like from this IEM. But even if you don't like that, you can play around with this ear tips and the filters and the nozzles and change the sound according to your own needs. Also, one more thing, I did use a BTR5 for most of my testing, so I'm really happy with this pairing. This is expensive, this is $50, but I'm really happy with this pairing. It works so well. I can wear them wired down, I can just pop them inside my shirt's pocket, and I can go outside and have a really good sound. These do leak a sound a bit, so do keep that in mind. So talking about the sound, using my silver filter and gold nozzle with the FiO BTR5, what I found was that they are really good Harman tuned IEM with a bit of a bass boost with this. If you don't want that bass boost, you can change it to the stock filters, or if you don't like that a bit of a high treble or a bit of a shrilly treble, you can change it to the silver filter. So it depending on your usage. I'll be using on this. So talking about the sound, about the bass region, the sub bass and the mid bass are really good. The bass sounds are really dynamic. They're really punchy. It has some boominess. It has some, but it doesn't bleed that much, so that it spoils the sound. Right? It doesn't spoil the bass. But for example, when I'm listening to Crack Crack Crackle by Classy, the bass transients are really good. The sub bass region is really good. The mid bass region is really good. I can feel that. Also, listening to the Slam Dunk movie theme song, there are a lot of instruments going on, right? So what happens is the bass sometimes get lost, and you do not get the proper bass dynamics, the bass punchiness that really comes through in this IEM, which I was quite surprised, because that's quite a hard thing to do. I was testing an expensive IEM which couldn't do that. This did that, which I was surprised. Also, one more song, which is the Hollow 16-bit remix by Bjork. What happens in that song is there is this deep low rumble sub bass, right, which is not produced by some IEMs, or even if it is produced, it's very very meh, and you don't really feel it. So I highly suggest that. It's around 16 to 18 second mark. You can check it on YouTube, and that really shines through over here. When I use a silver filter with the gold nozzle, that really shines through that bass, and then the instrument starts, they really play really well. So the transients of the bass even in this song is really good. Talking about the Waltz, that is also a very good song to test bass, and again, the transients, the bass quality, the bass texture for $49 is really good. I really enjoyed it. There is sometimes I can talk about bass, mids, and highs, but at the end of the day, I'm really enjoying this IEM, which is a lot to say. You're buying this to enjoy it, no matter what the sound is, whatever you like it, right? And I'm really enjoying these songs on this IEM. So now let's talk about the mids. Some people might find this to be a bit of a lacking area. What happens is, because as I said, the gain region of this IEM is a bit low when compared to the Harman graph or other IEMs which are generally coming out. So what happens is you do get a bit of a lack in the male vocals. For example, when I'm listening to Like a Store by Audio Slave, Chris Cornell's vocal, or Hello Sunshine by Will Withers, or Konna Yuki by Remio Roman, or Aloha Heya He by Akim Rekel, the male vocals do lack a bit of that throatiness, that punch of that male vocal, which I generally look for when I'm listening to male vocals. So that is one more thing which is lacking over here. It's not something you will say that it's so bad that you can't listen to it, but that's the one major flaw which I found it over here for my personal taste and with the tuning I have used, right? So now talking about female vocals, again, as I said, the gain is low over here, right? So I thought I might not feel that female vocals coming through that much. I thought that the vocal region will be completely lost out to me, the female vocals especially. So I was surprised to find that it was quite good. Sometimes that female vocals, many will find it too shouty, too piercy, but I'm pretty sure for most people this will not be the issue because of the tuning. It's very safe for female vocals, and surprisingly it comes really well too. I was really surprised. So while I was checking songs like Sakura or Hanawa Sakura by Iki Monogakari, Summer Song by Yui, Nervous no Narinae de Naoko Isamu, these vocals, they're really on your face. They're really when played at high volumes, they really get shrilly or piercy, and could cause some issues. Very safe. You won't miss anything, you won't lose anything. So that is one thing you should keep that in mind, and I like that. Now after the female vocals, I'll try to talk about the instruments and the imaging and soundstage. I was quite surprised as to how good the soundstage is, because these are open back IEMs. The soundstage is really good, so you won't be sad with getting a bad soundstage. Imaging is also decent, nothing great, not bad either. Now talking about the air region, which is the final thing I want to talk about in sound. Air region is where this suffers, because it is not really that good. And these lack that air region. So that final bit of air region which many look for, this doesn't have that much. It is okay, just okay, nothing great. Then again, this is just complaining in my opinion. This is a lot of nitpicking for this in my opinion, but then the air region is decent, nothing great. Now as to recommendation, do I recommend this IEM? Yes. If you are new in the hobby and you are looking for a first IEM, I'll highly suggest buying this. Why? Because it has a lot of tuning, a lot of vocal tips, and you can change the tuning according to your own needs. So you can test out which you like, and you can listen to it. Also, or if you want a new IEM in this $50 range, if you want an IEM which you can wear wire up or wire down, which you can carry daily, or you can make a good setup with this case, and you want an open back, and you have issues like venting, and like I have, or if you have issues where you can't wear any ventless IEM, right? I'll suggest highly suggest buying this, because it's not a tuning something which you will be offended with, right? It's not a treble high tuning, it's not a bass heavy tuning. It has everything for everyone, and it's really good. One more thing is that, as I said, I have tested it with silver nozzle and gold silver filter and gold nozzle. But if you don't like that, what I explained, you can obviously test it out with the different filters, the different nozzles, and that sound really changes. It's not something, again, as I am repeating, it's not something, it's like a 1 dB difference. It really changes the sound quite a bit, and I can at least feel it. And also you can also use the tips which work. So it's a very safe tuning, and it's worked really well. It's a Harman tuning, but it works really well. You can change it, you can tune it according to your own preference. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you watching this. I would really appreciate if you could like the video, if you could subscribe to my channel. That really helps out a lot. I'm planning to bring more videos, more contents, surrounding audio. There are some new IEMs coming in. There is also one more unique IEM coming in, which I'm really looking forward to look into. So that is something. And if you have any comment, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll obviously try to help you out. So yeah, please do subscribe and like. Thank you for watching. Bye.